This is a movie about immigration and the American dream. And it's about a leprechaun who cures racism. But mostly, this movie is a fairy tale that tells the story of the African-American scientist who invents menthol cigarettes. Finian, an old Irish man, and his poor daughter, Sharon, they walk across America, and then they end up in the Midwest. And then he's looking for the mythical Rainbow Valley. So then he's like, there it is. And then the sheriff shows up. It's a co-op owned by a guy named Woody. And he's the main hippie. It's the 60s. They're kind of like free-loving farmers. Mm-hmm. So the sheriff shows up, and he comes there on behalf of racist Senator Rawkins.
Is that his title?
Yes. He won his Senate seat on the racist party. And he says, you owe back taxes. Mm-hmm. And whoever can pay the back taxes can own the property. Woody's gone. Woody's not there. And Howard the scientist comes out. And he says, well, you got to talk to Susan. Susan is the mute sister of Woody who communicates through dance. She's mute and deaf. And then she does a dance. Someone says, according to this dance, Woody's coming. Woody will save us. And then around this time, Finian, Fred Astaire, shows up with his daughter, and they climb up in a tree to see what's going on. This is when his daughter's like, your carpet bag is very heavy. Oh my God, this is full of gold. And he said, yes, I stole a leprechaun's gold. So then Woody shows up, and he's like, I have the $770 in back taxes, Sheriff, so you can get out. But then they're like, yeah, but what about the service fee? And this is when Fred Astaire, so I guess his bag's full of gold and cash. He makes it rain cash, and there's your service fee, asshole. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, ooh, you got us. They go away. They leave defeated. Finian says, hey, so I just bailed you out. Now we're partners. Now we both own the land. Give me an acre closest to Fort Knox. And he's like, deal. And now it's nighttime, and he comes out, and he's drunk. And then Sharon's like, I see you out there. What's your plan, And he says, this is like level 10 alcoholism talking. Because he goes, I've got a theory. He said he thinks the soil in Fort Knox radiates a powerful influence. He decides he's going to bury his crock in the soil near Fort Knox. And his theory is that in 6 months, it'll be more gold because of the magical soil of Fort Knox. He's drunk and he goes and buries his gold. And of course, right then, the leprechaun appears. So he's like, I'm the leprechaun. Give me back me pot of gold. Mm-hmm. He shows up after he buries it, so he doesn't know. And he says, Ireland has fallen into disarray. Ireland is messed up now because the magic of the leprechauns was keeping Ireland stable. Mm-hmm. And now the leprechauns are losing their magic and turning into humans. And it's all because the pot of gold you stole was the source of our power. And he says, just give me a couple months. He's like, I just need a couple months for my plan to work. He's like, I'm becoming human and I'm getting a funny feeling in my thighs. Okay. I think they imply that he's getting horny as he becomes mortal. His pants fall off and he's like, oh, I got to give you my pants. Fred Astaire wants to give him his pants. What? Then the daughter comes. She's going to find him. She's like, Dad, every time you get drunk, I find you in the woods with another man with no pants on. After Mom left, you promised no more rest stops or woods parties. She comes out looking for her dad, but then Sharon in the woods runs into Woody, and then he kisses her, but she's into it. So then they sing a song about how they're in love, and they're horny for each other. And then they go visit Howard the scientist in his greenhouse. And he's working to combine the mint plant with the tobacco plant. And they go, the only problem, it smells great, it's minty, it's tobacco-y. The only problem is it won't burn. What? They can't get this shit to burn. That's the struggle of the film. How do we get this stuff to work? But now, the racist Senator Rawkins comes. The senator says, well, I don't want to do this, but I'm seizing your land due to violating a law I just wrote. Mm-hmm. And this law is that white people and black people can't live together. Oh, no! It's a new law I just wrote. A new law? Well, it's an old law that I brought back, really. It's kind of a new spin on an old favorite. It's kind of a sample. It's kind of a cover, really. He's driving off in the police car, and Sharon's... Now, she's chasing the car, right? I guess this is a rule. She happens to be standing on where the pot of gold is buried. Right then, she yells at the car, I wish you were black. And then it begins to storm. Oh. And lightning and winds. This is the storm that happens when someone's about to turn black. And then the senator looks in the rearview mirror, and he's black, and he goes, son of a bitch. And then his dog attacks him. Oh, no! Because they trained it to attack black people. Right. So then he runs out. He runs out of the car. Mm-hmm. and he runs away. So now Susan, the mute, she starts dancing, and then it rains. Dancing is just an attractive person going, look at my body, look at my body, look at my body, look at my leg, look at my ass. I guess her dance is so sexy. This gets the croc excited. The ground opens up. The croc reveals itself. It's like, hey, baby, what's happening? Then she takes it and runs off. Okay, so now it's the big wedding between Sharon and Woody. They've been in love for about a day and a half. And then the sheriff shows up. He storms in with the DA, and he says, we're here for the witch. We have a warrant for the arrest of a witch for turning a white guy into a black guy. And then they're trying to take her, and then Finian says, guys. He says, I have something to say. She is a witch. And that means she can turn him white again. Just leave the two of them in the barn, and we'll all leave. And by dusk, you'll have a white guy. And the reason he did this is he knows he has a pot of gold. So he's like, okay, I just need to buy some time. I'll go find my pot of gold, make a wish on the pot of gold. They agree to that. Fred Astaire goes to his pot of gold. Of course, it's gone now because the dancing mute stole it. He's like, damn it, I don't have any pot of gold. So now the leprechaun's looking for Sharon. He's almost fully mortal. He's losing his powers. He doesn't care because he's in love with Sharon. And then he sees what he thinks is Sharon on the bridge in the woods. And he says, Sharon, you're the only one I've ever loved. I love you, you know? And then he sees, oh, you're not Sharon. You're Susan. He's like, but I'm still just as worked up. Is this what it's like to be mortal? Is every girl the only girl? Now he sings a song about how it doesn't really matter. Oh. He sings a song about how when you're a horny man, you're kind of into whoever. When I'm not near the girl I love the girl I'm near. This is a movie about how racism is bad and you should not judge black people as a group, but white women are kind of interchangeable. Any orifice in a storm. Dude! Oh my God! So he's singing a whole song, and this is all very insulting, but then you remember, yeah, she's deaf. She's just responding to smiles. And then Finian shows up. And he says they're going to set the barn on fire at dawn because she's a witch, so she must burn as a witch. Yeah. Now they just need to turn the senator white. I guess the thing is, he's almost out of power. He said he can do it with the pot of gold. He's like, just give me the pot of gold. And he's like, I don't have it. I thought you had it. He's like, I don't have it. And then he's like, okay, look, if you get a chance, please help her. I'm going to go try to save her. So Finian leaves. And then they go back to the bridge, and he goes, I wish you could talk. And then she says, I love you. She starts talking. So then he figures out, oh, well, if that wish came true, we must be above the croc. The mute girl, Susan, put it under the bridge. All the racists are outside the barn. The DA just like lights it on fire. And then he's like, all right, Senator, abracadabra, let's make that senator white again. And then we cut to the barn. The senator turns white, and then it's daytime all of a sudden. And then it's like triumphant music. Like, this is the big happy ending of like, he's white again. Wow. Fire truck comes in. The community puts out the fire. But then Finian's like, oh, but the croc's fucked. Like, the croc is ash because we used all the wishes. Yeah. So when he got there, he said that the croc was what gave the power to the leprechauns. The leprechauns are what maintained peace and order in Ireland. So by turning the senator white, he's now turned all of the leprechauns in Ireland human, ensuring that the blight he mentioned will now go on. This movie came out in 1968. 1968 is when the trouble started in Ireland. Sectarian terrorism between the Catholics and the Protestants for 30 years in Ireland, which according to this movie is because drunk Fred Astaire stole a pot of gold. I guess Howard and Woody are both helping put the barn fire out. And then they notice that the fire from the barn has gone into the greenhouse. And they're like, oh no, it's destroying our life's work. But then they notice, they're like, wait, it's minty and it's smoking. Holy shit, we've discovered mentholated tobacco. So it turns out that the recipe that they stumbled upon was they needed fire from a barn that had been set by bigots who were trying to kill a witch for turning a guy black. So the point of this movie is that white racism was the missing ingredient in menthol cigarettes. This has been another episode of Ruining Things the Black People Like. Tune in next week when we tell the story of how Adolf Hitler wrote the pilot episode for Sanford and Son. Good night, everybody. The past was doing its best.
That's the theme song.
Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. They were doing their best.